Jerez de la Frontera for round 6 of the Ferrari Challenge CoppaShell. 2 races across this weekend. Race 1 about to get underway in the sunshine here in southern Spain. We're about 15 minutes from central Jerez, and it's fantastic weather conditions. You can see the calendar that we've enjoyed so far this year. With this, the penultimate round before we head to Daytona for the World Finals between the 1st and the 4th of December. All the information, as always, at races.ferrari.com. Some of the images from the paddock area here in Jerez. And there you can see right at the bottom of Spain is where we are. And a reminder of the website address, races.ferrari.com. So it's off to the US of A in Daytona for the World Finals after this round, and 2 races to come for the CoppaShell drivers on this 4.42 kilometre circuit. 8 right, 5 left of the 13 turns, and quite undulating it is well, with the backdrop of the palm trees. 31 degrees the air temperature, track temperature 43 degrees. Lovely place to be racing in October, that's for sure. And a great grid to see down there, assembled on track, ready to do battle. Pole position going the way of 177 von Skeltema, the Netherlands-based racer with the shark's teeth of front his car. Recently out in a GT3 car as well, and really enjoyed his time. To the right of the car, you can just see his driver coach, Nicky Cadai, offering final words of advice even to von Skeltema. Alongside him is Eric Prinot, and the points leader in the CoppaShell series is Thomas Loflad. Rick Loverdew is P2 in the points, regrettably not here this weekend, and look forward to seeing you back out on track really soon, Rick. So, von Skeltema pole position, alongside him Eric Prinot, as we take a look through the grid order then. Phenomenal array of cars out there on track ready to do battle. Tommy Lindroth is out there on track, and he's having to use a spare car because he had a big off in FP2. So Tommy Lindroth out in a spare car, but pleasingly he's out in the race. Car is repairable, but just not repairable this weekend, so has had to elect to use a spare car. And just some of the trucks in the paddock area there you can see. Another one that had an off is the 133 car. You can just see about the 4th car in the picture there for Murat Kuhadaroglu. He had an off in FP as well, but that car all back and out on track. The 102 car of Claudio Schiavone, who has had a good quali as well, because he will be going from P3 on the grid. And Claudio's best race finish thus far being a P4 in the first race at Sochi. So there then is P2 on the grid for Eric Prinot. And he is P4 in the points on 88 points. Points leader Thomas Loflad currently on 149. So Eric taking on some fluid then, just ahead of the start of this 30-minute race for the CoppaShell drivers. And Holger Harmsen, the German driver, drives car number 111. And there is Holger. Really likeable Lueg Sportivo driver. Crews all down there. Just see Eric Chung's wife in the middle of the picture. So it is Jerez de la Frontera in Spain for the 6th round of the Ferrari Challenge and CoppaShell category of drivers. And let's give you a little taster of what Jerez is like here in Spain. And the building that you're looking at now, whilst you may think that's race control, actually it isn't. It's a big hospitality unit that straddles the track here at Jerez. And a phenomenal place to watch the race action from, to be honest, if you have one of the passes that admits you into there. And there are all the CoppaShell cars down there on grid. The all bright orange car of 152 is Renato D'Amato, the CDP driver. Been good qualifying from Renato. Good qualifying from Claudio Schiavone as well. Sorry, my mind was distracted just for a moment whilst watching two or three of the pit crew make their way off the track. Thomas Loflad then, who starts from P16 on the grid, the current points leader with a lot of work to do from there. And right at the back of the pack is Tommy Lindroth, who I mentioned is in a spare car because of an off during FP. 5 wins then in 26 races for Thomas Loflad. And let's hear from one of our drivers right now.
Hola a todos, I'm Alex Palou. Currently I'm driving for GP3, but here this will be my first race in Ferrari Challenge in Jerez. And I'm driving for Style F, great team, great people, and let's see how it is. Welcome to Spain, welcome to my country. We're in a great place in Jerez de la Frontera, and we have great weather, great people also, and great passion for Ferrari. This will be my office for this weekend. I discovered this car, this office today, so it's my first time. I'm getting used to, because it's quite different than what I'm used to, but it's a very enjoyable car with a lot of horsepower, a lot of grip in the corners also, so I'll try to do my best. This is the truck for this weekend. It's a very technical truck, a little old school truck, because we don't have tarmac at the exit of the corners, but there is slow speed corners, long straights, fast speed corners, so it's a very good truck. So now enjoy the Ferrari Challenge races with us.
Thanks very much, Alex Paolo, then, who actually races in Trofeo Pirelli rather than CoppaShell, but he's actually racing in GP3 for the Campos team at the moment. So there is our pole sitter, Fon Skeltermar, doing his level best to avoid the camera. Okay, race 1 for CoppaShell about to get underway. So the final members of the teams leave the grid. The safety car is off. 30 seconds then before the cars will be released for their formation lap around this 4.4 kilometer circuit. It's Skeltermar Prinot, front row. Then it's Claudio Schiavone and Eric Chung going from P3 and P4. We move to the next rows of the grid and we will find Eric Chung and Renato D'Amato. Corinna Gosner, good qualifying from Corinna. Vladimir Hladek, then it's Christian Kinch. Thomas Gosner, Manuela Gosner, Holger Harmsen, Murat Kuhadaroglu on row 6. Then we find Quiton Lendudis, Ingvar Madsen, Deborah Meyer, and Thomas Loflad. And Tommy Lindroth then bringing up the rear of the grid in a spare car. He has managed to get the beer hunter bonnet on the car, though. Well done, Tommy. So there he is then in the 127 car. As I said, he had an off in the practice session. And this is Thomas Loflad then for Stylef Squadra Corsa, our current points leader, who is going to have to make up a lot of places to bank as many points as possible going into this race. So Von Skeltermar then leads them away on their formation lap. Eric Prenot, Claudio Schiavone. And if you want to keep an eye on everything that's going on in the world of Ferrari Challenge, all the social media on screen for you right now. Eric Chung, incidentally, whose car we go see going through there, was the winner along with his team for the pit stop challenge that took place in the hospitality area of Ferrari Challenge last night. It's a fantastic competition. Many teams entered and drivers as well, and it's all about changing a wheel. And Eric Chung's team were victorious. Eric Prenot then going from P2. And Claudio Schiavone, I think it's the best qualifying we've seen from Claudio all season long. Going from P3 on the grid, being chased by that pit stop challenge winner, Eric Chung. So safety car backs them all up now, and of course a rolling start in the Ferrari Challengers. Von's partner looks on, and it will be down to the front row of Von Skeltermar and Eric Prenot to control the pace of the rolling lap. They're heading up to where the safety car will peel off. And the cars will all grid up. Medical car right at the rear of the pack. And there, Christian Kinch in the 128 machine from Go Motorsports. Holger Hansen, there's Murat then, and as I mentioned, that's where the safety car will peel off into the pit lane. We go back on board to see it from the Thomas Loflad perspective. All those cars ahead that he's got to get past as they go through the final turn and head towards the start of this 30-minute race for the CoppaShell drivers in Ferrari Challenge. So as the engine note rises, so too the excitement and the anticipation of the race about to come. Side by side then, Eric Prenot and Von Skeltermar. Lights to the top left hand of the screen for you. And away we go. Very good start from Von Skeltermar. Eric Prenot caught napping just a little bit. So he takes a look at the inside now. Eric Chung is off. And that is a huge collision into the barriers for Eric Chung. Right at the start of this race, there is debris everywhere. Didn't quite see how that came to pass, but Eric Chung absolutely out of the race. His car up against the barriers. And look of concern there, of course. So Von Skeltermar leads from Eric Prenot, Claudio Schiavone then, and then it is Renata D'Amato. Here a replay then, just turned in on, I think that's the car of Corinna Gosner. And safety car has been deployed. Now they're coming uphill at that point as they're heading into turn number one. It just looked like Eric turned in on the Gosner car. For some reason, really did look. It didn't look like the Gosner car turned across Eric Chung, but we'll wait to see it again in replays. Doubtless we'll get a few replays of that because the safety car is going to pick the cars up now, not even after one lap completed. Well, the cars are on their way heading towards turn 11 now, and the chicane, and the safety car standing by to pick them up. The Kessel team look on. And conversations going on between drivers and the pit wall. So safety car will pick them up now. Von Skeltermar, our lead driver, all thoughts with Eric Chung, though. It looked like it was quite an impact. Hope he's all okay. Driving for the motor service team, and it was the Corinna Gosner car that he went in front of. Doesn't appear to be any damage to the Corinna Gosner car at all, as we see that go through from that particular camera position. Tommy Lindroth had made up a couple of places at the start. Here it is then. Just looked like they were side by side, and it's to be a huge impact, and one of the wheels completely off, flying through the air as various bits of panel work were too. Well, that's fantastic to see. Because that is Eric Chung walking away from that, so absolutely fantastic. Glad Eric is all okay. Sadly though, out of the race, and Eric Chung having a good time of it in the CoppaShell category, is P5 in the points, and well, he'll be taking no further part in today's race. Looking at the way the car impacted on the barriers, I'm not absolutely sure that that car will be ready for tomorrow's race. Whether the motor service team have a spare car here that he could use remains to be seen. So those that made progress right at the start, Tommy Lindroth up to P14 in a spare car. There you can see him centre picture right now. Manuel Gosner behind, and then the Ingvar Mattsson car 199. Now, depending on the debris that's left, as we look at Christian Kinch, who's P8, depending on the debris that's left and the recovery operation of the Eric Chung car, it will determine how long the safety car remains out. Clock continues to tick down, of course, whilst the safety car is out and leading the cars around, whilst all the debris is sorted out and cleaned up. It's just a huge impact, so quick. Here it is. And there you can see it from being on board with Thomas Loflat, the car actually flying into the barrier. So, as I was saying, it's down to how quickly the debris can be cleared up, which apparently is very quickly because the safety car is coming in this lap. There you can see that on screen. So, it will be down once again to von Skeltermar to stack them up. They're going through the chicane now before the final turn. And Eric Prinot will want to be trying to keep right on terms with him. There's the Thomas Gosner car, 161. So safety car goes into the pit lane. Von Skeltermar lights up his car right at the front of the pack, and we go back to racing. With 5 3/4 minutes having been done. Most of it under the safety car. So, up the inside of Manuela Gosner. Sorry, Corinna Gosner looks the Vladimir Hladik car. Eric Prinot puts pressure on von Skeltermar right at the front. And Prinot definitely looking the quicker of the two here. They're side by side. Prinot not quite able to get his nose in front before they go uphill. Claudio Schiavone is also taking a look as well at Eric Prinot. He's in the unfortunate position of hunting and being hunted at the same time. He's stuck right in the middle there. P1, von Skeltermar. They're coming down from turn 5 now. This long downward straight, the longest straight here at the circuit before heavy braking. And the rest of the cars all come through, but von Skeltermar for the moment is showing a clean pair of heels to Eric Prinot in P2. Renato D'Amato in the all-orange machine is running in P4. San Daniela, of course, a racer, and racing in Carrera Cup. So Skeltermar, Prinot, then it is Schiavone and D'Amato, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the chicane, turns 11 and turns 12. Prinot staying right with Skeltermar. Head now towards the final turn, turn number 14. It's almost a hairpin. You come back on yourself almost and up the start-finish straight. And the margin is 5/10 between Skeltermar and Prinot, or just under. All of a sudden, D'Amato is having to think about defending from Vladimir Hladic now, who has found himself in P5 and chasing down that 152 car that is running in P4. Tommy Lindroth up to P13, as you can see on screen. So Prinot then in the 181 machine is running in P2. Race being led by von Skeltermar. Down from turn 5 once again, heading into turn number 6 during the course of the race. We'll bring you the speed traps through there. Skeltermar then for CoppaShell Racing. As I mentioned, out here in Spain, was at the wheel of a GT3 car recently. Really enjoyed that, but he's glad to be back into what is his traditional racing home, and that is the 458 Evo Ferrari Challenge car, with which he finds himself P3 in the points. As Prinot now right alongside von Skeltermar, but Skeltermar's going to have the inside line for the next turn. So Prinot will be denied once again, but he's making his intentions perfectly clear here to the shark's teeth ahead of him of von Skeltermar. So into the chicane. D'Amato taking it a little bit to Claudio Schiavone now as well. And of course Vladimir Hladic is sitting right behind, ready to take advantage also as he dives to the inside now. D'Amato, very good awareness there. He was about to turn in and could see the Vladimir Hladic car there. Von Skeltermar in all sorts of strife has dropped a huge amount of places. Obviously a mechanical issue for the 177 car. Incidentally, car number 152, you can see smoke coming out of the von Skeltermar car. Is that a puncture? So there, car number 152 is under investigation for potentially jumping the start, but what a nightmare for von Skeltermar, who was leading the race and now finds himself way down the order. There's the 161 car of Thomas Gosner, father of Manuela and Corinna, who are out there on track as well. But the race is now being led by the Nico MP driver, Eric Prinot, as von Skeltermar has issues with his car from the CoppaShell team. There is Corinna Gosner then in the number 173 car, and it's that car we think that Eric Chung was involved with right at the start of the race, which provoked the safety car. That big off for Eric Chung, but thankfully he's walked away all absolutely okay, which is some indication of the fantastic structural integrity of these 458 Evo Challenge cars. Vladimir Hladic running now in P3. Claudio Schiavone on for a podium position, potentially running in P2. And indeed, car number 152, Renato D'Amato, is going to get a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. There, confirmation of that on the screen. So he's running in P4, which will elevate Corinna Gosner to P4, and Thomas Gosner and everyone else behind. And Thomas Loflad, who is up to P7 at the moment, will find himself in P6. So banking some good points from his start right at the back of the pack. So D'Amato, having been advised of the drive-through penalty, has to take it within 3 laps of that being notified. He's chosen not to come in straight away, but Corinna Gosner will do well not to chase too hard, because it will be completely academic. Get involved in a fight with the D'Amato car ahead, because it's got to come in to serve a drive-through penalty. Having jumped the start, sensors all over the and here is von Skeltermar. You can see part of the tyre. Yeah, I was right. Completely destroyed tyre. Look at the damage that's done to the front of the car as well, in terms of debris all over the car. So Great shame for von Skelterman. It's curious, I was just looking at the way that car handled coming out of the chicane on a lap previously, and I thought there was all sorts of issues there, and the team deciding that they're not going to put the car back out into the race. Fons will be bitterly, bitterly disappointed. What a great shame. Tyre let go, and there's still the debris out there on the track. So as I was saying, I just saw him on the exit of turn 12 out of the chicane, and the car looked low at one point and was obviously slowly deflating and then let go particularly dramatically as we saw the rubber flying off. So it's Eric Prinot that leads the race then, and he has a margin of 1.2 seconds over this Scuderia Nicky car that's running in P2 for Claudio Schiavone. His first visit to the podium, I think. A little bit of oversteer there. Being chased hard by Vladimir Hladic. Renato D'Amato has stayed out, hasn't come in to serve the drive-through yet, and just wondered whether Vladimir was going to be close enough to take a look at the inside on that occasion. Wasn't able to do so, going into turn number 1, which of course is uphill, but all over the back of the Claudio Schiavone car, which is run by Scuderia Nicky. Vladimir Hladic for Baron's service. And just getting a bit wayward there under a bit of pressure. Claudio Schiavone just lost the back end of the car into the gravel. Will have cost a couple of 100ths probably in terms of time, and has allowed Vladimir Hladic to get ever closer. So Schiavone then having to defend from Vladimir Hladic. It's all playing into the hands of Eric Prinot, who of course is able to get up the road in the lead, and Schiavone then on 222 kilometers per hour through the speed trap, and Hladic then on 224, proving the point that at the moment the fastest car out there is Hladic, 153.310, fastest lap of the race for that number 144 car. Best lap of anyone, fastest lap of the race. Eric Prinot, though, 153.793 is not looking too shabby, and that's why he's 1.5 seconds up the road in the lead, following the demise then of the Kessel driver von Skelterman. So Hladic then keeps hounding the Claudio Schiavone car ahead. It's the fight going on for P2 just for the moment. Vladimir Hladic choosing to let the car run in slightly cooler air, not in the turbulent air, as Renato D'Amato then does pull in to serve the drive-through penalty, and that immediately elevates Corinna Gosner, Thomas Loflad, Christian Kinch, Murat Kuhadaroglu, and Kriton Lendudis, and Holger Harmsen will find himself in the points for P10 now. So the drive-through penalty for car number 152, and that was brought about by stewards having decided that the start was jumped, so he'll be joining back at the back of the pack. So Thomas Loflad now on the back of Thomas Gosner. So Loflad finding himself in P6, and he's chasing down the P5 place at the moment. Thomas Gosner then in the orange. Corinna Gosner is the best of the lady racers. 3 lady racers. Corinna and Manuela Gosner, and also Deborah Mayer. Deborah is currently running in P15. Manuela Gosner running in P12, but chases on now from Thomas Loflad, who's chasing down father of both of the Gosner girls, and that is the car that we're looking at through the windscreen of Thomas Loflad's machine at the moment. Thomas, another one of those that took part in that pit stop competition last night, which was hilarious fun, through turns 11 and 12 and 13. Then whoa, back into the car, just stepping away from Thomas Loflad as he reels in the Thomas Gosner car ahead. Heavy braking now for the final turn on the lap, taking the rumble strips and the curbs, and now absolutely flat out as they head towards turn number 1. But just as they cross the timing line, they start driving hard uphill before turning right. It's one of 8 right-handers on this track. 5 left, making up the full 13 turns, although some argue it's 14 or 15 turns. It depends which particular track map that you choose to look at and operate from. So Prenot then, who's lost a couple of tenths out of his lead, to be honest. It was at 1.5, it's now down to 1.368, and we've got 12.5 minutes of the race still to do. So Claudio Schiavone has got the hurry-up pedal, and the gap between he and Vladik is 7 tenths, as you can see. So at the moment, the 144 car of Vladimir Hladik for Scuderia Praha, which you can see centre screen now, running in P3, some 7 tenths back on Claudio Schiavone, who is running P2. Eric Prenot, the race leader there. But these two are certainly catching Prenot, because another tenth has come out of the Prenot time. There's some of the debris from the stricken tyre on the von Skeltermar car. As they head into the chicane now, and around has gone the 151 machine of Thomas Loflad, pushing too hard, presumably. He rejoins, but won't be in the good points-paying position that he was in. So Thomas Loflad has managed to get back going again. So we'll get a replay of how Thomas Loflad came to find himself going in the wrong direction. And that's cost him dearly in terms of points haul. On 149 points going into this race. Rick Lovett, who is missing this weekend, is P2 in the points. Von Skeltermar is out of the points because he is not going to finish the race. So the next one that's going to benefit is Eric Prenot. So actually, if Thomas Loflad could afford to have an off day, probably today is the day to have it. Here it is then. So went up the inside of Thomas Gosner. And let's see it from on board. Oh, and there was contact there, and in fairness, Loflad had got one wheel out onto the either the Astro or onto the gravel. As Holger Armsen then battles and goes around the outside. That was a brilliant move from Holger to go around the outside of Kriton Lendudis. That around at turn number 5 is not where we would expect to see an overtake, but Holger Armsen obviously with supreme confidence in the Dijon qualities of that 458 Evo of his. Cars number 161 and 151, which is the cars of Thomas Loflad and also Thomas Gosner, are under investigation. I'm afraid to say, it looked to me like Thomas Loflad was just a little bit too ambitious, and contact was probably brought about by the wheel dipping into the gravel rather than Thomas Gosner turning in. But stewards have access to many more camera angles than we do, that's for sure. So Holger Armsen then running in P8, Kriton Lendudis is P9, and Tommy Lindroth then in spare car has made it from the back of the grid up to P10. So good drive from Tommy Lindroth, driving for the Barron service team. So there is the 127 car, not the familiar livery of Tommy Lindroth. Giving Kriton Lendudis a run for it going into turn number 1. And then, of course, that's where Thomas Loflad has factored back into the race, out of the points for P11. As I said, if he could afford to have a off day, today is probably the day he could. Struggling look. The handling of that car, that's for sure. Good replay from on board the Thomas Loflad Stylev Squadra Corsa car. Eric Prenot, meantime, has broken away and increased the margin by 5 tenths or so. So now the battle is between Claudio Schiavone and Vladimir Hladik for P2. 3 tenths between the two of them. That's all. So all of a sudden, Vladimir Hladik has once again found the hurry-up pedal and knows that he's got 8 minutes of race duration left to try and chase down and pass the Claudio Schiavone car. They're all in, at the moment, podium positions, those three. 7 3/4 minutes. Heavy braking into the final turn. Carrying too much speed was the Vladimir Hladic car. Very wide line. So the incident involving cars number 161 and 151 has been investigated and no further action is going to be taken. So it's probably very fair, to be honest. Just looked to me like Thomas just dipped a wheel into the gravel, and that was really what the problem was, rather than Thomas turning in on him. And race stewards deciding no further action. Okay. The 144 car of Vladimir Hladic then is running in P3. Claudio Schiavone for the new, for 2016, team of Scuderia Niki is running in P2. Be the best finish for Claudio Schiavone if he's able to maintain this P2 position as they run down towards turn number 6 now. Brake before the right-hander. Blast of throttle. And there, thank goodness, Eric Chung, the man that we saw whose car was up against the barriers at some force. Eric Chung is absolutely fine, and that's really, really good to see. Thanks to our team for getting us that image on screen. And as I say, it just reinforces the structural integrity of the 458 Evo cars. So there is Thomas Loflad. On board now, chasing down the Tommy Lindroth car, the 127 machine that you can see directly through the windscreen of Thomas Loflad's car. Ahead of Tommy Lindroth is Kriton Lendudis through the chicane. So Loflad P11, Lindroth is P10, Kriton Lendudis P9. And to the inside goes Manuela Gostner. Loflad is out onto the gravel, but will have the inside line for turn number 1. So probably Manuela will be denied, and Renato D'Amato returning from his drive-through penalty right behind the number 183 car. Not absolutely convinced that the Loflad car is handling particularly well, but he's trying to drive through the problems that he has. Whole gaggle of cars together there through the first chicane. That little gaggle being headed by Kriton Lendudis in that car, 131. And then it's Tommy Lindroth, and then it's Thomas Loflad. And comes Manuela again, having a go at Thomas Loflad. And as I say, I'm not absolutely convinced the Loflad car is handling well. Quickest of anyone last lap around was Thomas Gostner in P5. Interesting. So race being led by Prenot, then it's Schiavone, then it is Vladimir Hladic. But we're keeping an eye on this battle here, which is the battle for P9, 10, 11 and 12, all being played out by various parties. So Loflad with a look at Tommy Lindroth then. And wherever Lindroth puts his car, Manuela Gostner is filling his rear view mirror with the green and black machine that's right behind. Really feisty, good drive from Manuela Gostner at the moment in P12. Super slow-mo of Eric Prenot then our race leader in the Ineco MP car. And there is Corinna Gostner. And she leading the Ladies' Cup race at the moment. This year, the integration of a Ladies' Cup by dint of 3 lady racers, Corinna, Manuela and Deborah Mayer. So at the inside of Tommy Lindroth now, but he's denied. And now Manuela Gosner gets right alongside Thomas Loflad. So this long straight now, Manuela is going to have the inside line here, and providing she remains absolutely committed to it, should go into the turn first. Loflad really does seem to be struggling with the handling of that car. And, well, he did put himself ahead of Manuela Gosner. Making some adjustments, as you can see, and all eyes on the mirrors as well. Here it is again. Well, Manuela braked out of that for fear of the 151 car coming right across her. This was his go on Tommy Lindroth, and Tommy was having none of it. So on that occasion, Loflad had to bail out of that little overtake potential. And now Manuela is into the clutches of the Renato D'Amato car as Loflad continues to chase down Tommy Lindroth in car number 127. And there is Renato D'Amato then, who finds himself back there in P13 by dint of the drive-through penalty he had for jumping the start. So heading up towards turn number 1. Very slow moving car on the inside. And that's the Thomas Gosner car. So was in P6. Thomas Gosner is looks like he's heading for retirement. So everyone else will move up a place. And all doing well to avoid that car, but Tommy Lindroth is managing to avoid being overtaken by Thomas Loflad. There, the slow-moving Thomas Gosner car then that will be retiring out of the race. There's our race leader. Goodness, we're on the last lap. Where's the time gone? Eric Prinot then, final lap. Feels like we've lost 5 minutes in that race all of a sudden. Right, Eric Prinot then, leader over Claudio Schiavone. It'll be the best finish for Claudio Schiavone. A good finish for Eric Prinot. Good solid win for the Ineco MP driver. Claudio Schiavone has seen off Vladimir Ladek. So Eric Prinot rounds the final turn then. And he takes win number 2 of the season. He's had another 4 podiums, but the wins have been not quite so prolific this year. Vladimir Hladik taking P3, Claudio Schiavone then P2, but Eric Prinot the race winner. And a race that was its fair share of drama, that's for sure. There's Holger Harmsen, who finishes P6. So P4 goes the way then of Corinna Gosner. Might be Corinna's best finish of the season as well. P5 to Christian Kinch. That'd be his best finish too. So there the Thomas Gosner car then. Sounding a bit sick, to be honest. But there, the race winner, Eric Prinot. And this was Thomas Loflad on Tommy Lindroth on the last lap. Absolutely determined. Really having to almost put his foot through the floor on the brake pedal. So finishing ahead of Tommy Lindroth just at the end. So Thomas Loflad finishing in P9. Tommy Lindroth in a spare car finishes in P10. There, the winner of the Ladies' Cup is Corinna Gosner. Well done to her. And through it all, of course, we recall that we have seen Eric Chung, who was involved in that crash into the barriers right at the start of the race. He's absolutely fine, which is very, very good to see indeed. So the cars on their way back to the pit lane. And into the pit lane for some. And what a result for Claudio Schiavone. Best finish of the season. Looked good through free practice and looked good through qualifying as well. He's done a fantastic job. And Eric Prinot is congratulated by Monica there. Thumbs up. Say, the wins have not been coming quite as regularly for Eric Prinot. Big celebrations for the Scuderia Nicky team. And Vladimir Hladek welts into our camera as well. And Philip Barron alongside him there, congratulating him. Funny crash helmet into the camera. Lovely. And a winner of the ladies then, Corinna Gosner. Let's take a look at the highlights then of a race full of drama. So as the lights went green then, von Skeltermar it was that got the best start going into turn number 1. But Eric Chung across the front of the Corinna Gosner car saw his car flying into the barriers. Thankfully, Eric Chung absolutely okay. The car looking a little battle weary, it has to be said. That provoked the safety car, which would back everyone up, and you can see the car flying through the air from being on board with Thomas Loflad, whose car caught some of the debris as it flew through the air. Lots of battles would continue. And Vladimir Hladek was in and amongst it with the all-orange car of Renato D'Amato, who would get a drive-through penalty for having jumped the start. Von Skeltermar had a tyre that let go, and that meant that he went from being a race leader to being out of the race. Thomas Loflad was pushing and pushing hard as von Skeltermar, with no rubber left on that rim at all, was going to have to nurse the car back to the pit lane. Well, it was a spirited charge between Manuela Gosner and Thomas Loflad. But in the end, it was going to be a win for Eric Prinot for Eneco MP Racing. So Prinot victorious here at Jerez, and Prinot, Schiavone, Hladek, Gosner, Kinch, Harmson, Kuhada-Ruglu, Lendudis, Loflad and Lindroth, the top 10, as you can see on screen. Sadly, we lost Eric Chung and we lost von Skeltermar out of the race. Let's head up to the podium next. So podium being prepared, and as that is being prepared, we take a look at the paddock here at Jerez de la Frontera, which is full of some of the most delightful machinery that you can see. And, well, quite an exciting race to enjoy as well from the Ferrari Challenge CoppaShell drivers. And they're all standing by below the podium, which is about to erupt into life, we can hear. the Drivers' Championship low flat then if he could afford to have an off day. Today was the day for it. It's 152 points, 118, but Eric Prinot now in P3. So Vladimir Hladek on step 3. Claudio Schiavone with his best result. And Eric Prinot then on the top step of the podium. Normally jumps. Indeed he does again today. And Ladies' Cup race winner, Corinna Gostner. National anthem will play out then for Eric Prinot. Antonello Coletta then making the trophy presentation. First of all to Vladimir Hladek for P3. For P2, Claudio Schiavone, his best result of the year. So Antonello Coletta then, head of GT Sporting Activities for Ferrari. And Eric Prinot takes the winner's trophy. To add to what was quite a busy mantelpiece in the Prinot home. Anico MP take yet another one. And final trophy to be presented, of course, to the Ladies' Cup race winner. Beg your pardon, Pirelli trophy, first of all, to go to Eric Prinot. Before the Ladies' Cup. Corinna Gostner. Very well deserved that is as well. And Corinna's family there to enjoy the podium. Everyone poses for the photos. Come on, chaps, get on with the champers. Oh, yes. Corinna beat them all at it there. Brilliant stuff. So they enjoy their time up there on the podium, quite rightly. And we take a look at some of the images. P3, Vladimir Hladek then for Baron Service. For P2, Claudio Schiavone, best result of the season for Claudio. And P1, Eric Prinot. So the top 3 then in super slow-mo. And of course the lady winner as well in the Ladies' Cup, Corinna Gostner. So double bubble for Anico MP Racing. So there'll be some celebrations in their hospitality this evening. Next race tomorrow, 10:35 then, which is Trofeo Pirelli. Then another race to come for CoppaShell that we have just seen with their race 2 to come tomorrow as well. So there we have it from Jerez de la Frontera. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another couple of races from the brilliant Ferrari Challenge. Hopefully, once again in the sunshine. From all of us here, bye-bye for now.